All right, today's gonna be a reveal video, but on acrylic pour paintings. All right, let's get to it. Howdy, howdy, this is Clara Lawrence. Okay, so you've seen me work on some acrylic pour paintings with Tish over at the Artist Haven and also do some experimenting on my own. I've got them stacked up, they're dried up nicely, and it's time to see how they turned out. Let's see. First one up on the block was a pair that I did, and this was a challenge. And the challenge was also to add orange glitter, and that was to use acrylic pouring on this. Now the glitters did really, really well. And if you guys remember, I sprinkled them on afterwards and they adhered nicely. I don't have anything on top of this. And here, I'm gonna just do this. See, they're not coming off. So it's worked out really well, and I think it dried really super cool. I'm very happy with it. Now, I sprinkled the glitter on while the piece was wet, so it had a chance to adhere. If there was any that were on top of each other, meaning as far as the glitter, that one obviously would fall off after I pulled it off the drying tray. But other than that, yeah, super happy. Okay. On to the next one. It's like unwrapping presents here. All right. So this is the one where I was doing some experimenting with pouring with glitter. And you can see how the glitter bananas went all over the place. I believe I also used 24 karat gold in there too. But I did pour some lines with just the glitter mixed into the pouring medium. And it did great. I'm rubbing my fingers on there and like no glitter coming up. So yeah, the mix held up really well to bind that glitter together, and the glitter I used was for resin, so it's a naturally very lightweight glitter that does not sink. So I thought it would work really well with this medium. But I think I'm going to try this one more time, but I'm going to use different glitter so it's won't get confused with 24 karat gold, because that naturally kind of looks like that. So my bad on that as far as it being a little bit on the confusing side. So we're going to try it with another kind of glitter that will definitely stand out. But what do you guys think? Look at that. I think it dried beautifully. Love this area over here. I think that's my favorite zone. Now I use parchment paper in between my acrylic pours so that the paints don't stick together. Even after I put a coating on this, whether it be resin or anything else, I'll use parchment paper just to make sure that the painting surface does not stick to another type that is of the similar nature. So Marcy gave me that tip. So here's this guy here, and it dried gorgeous. Love, love, love this color in here. Super pretty. It's almost got a luminescence to it. A little bit of shimmer with some gold in there, but not enough to take it away. I like how it's really dark. Let me zoom in. Pretty. All right, on to the next one. I have to admit, when this one was wet, the white was a lot more dominant as far as a stronger color. And then of course the pouring medium dried transparent. So it was hard to really gauge how white the white really was. And over top of the darker colors, it definitely gave a transparent look. So that's me just learning the material and how it behaves. But overall, still really happy with it. I love the blending of the colors, and the different colors I'm using are super saturated, highly pigmented, so they do not disappoint. Really pretty. All right, on to the next guy. And I did another sprinkle one with some glitter on there. And this one has a little bit of a shifty kind of quality to it. But overall, blues and greens, very soft, mermaidy like. Man, if this were resin, I'd probably want to do a drawing on top of it. Wonder. Really pretty. Some of the colors have a nice like pearlescent type quality to them. Some of them have a nice metallic. Super saturated, me likey. Sweet. All right, so this is the piece that Tish and I worked on last, where we did Friday Night Flip Cup. I was the stand-in for Miss Brookie. And let's see, how was this facing? This was facing, I think, this way when we did it. And we did an open cup flip cup. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it is now. But look at all those brilliant colors. This is wild and fun. I love it. Zoom in time. Look at that. That area right there, bam. I think I had a lot of paint on here. Remember, I'm still trying to learn this medium, but I'm tackling it like I tackle any other thing. I just go in for it. And what was really interesting, when it was drying, I had it in my dust-free zone, so it would take a little while to dry. And then I ended up pulling them and spreading them out on the table with the fan going to help it dry. And then I noticed this like little bitty split in the paint, but it didn't look like it was torn. It just looked like it was kind of a little ravine kind of thing. And it ended up spreading out. But what's interesting is the paint stained the canvas before it did that, and you can't even tell from, I bet you didn't even notice it until I pointed it out. You probably thought it was another cell, but it just kind of blends in, and I kind of like it. But this definitely has a fluid kind of feel to it. And the other thing I really like is these colors. Okay, so you have this almost transparent kind of light look to it, but you also have a lot of thin lines of different colors going on. It's like somebody took a marker and kind of did some play work like they do with geodes, and so cool. So this whole journey here has helped me out with resin big time. So it's interesting, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. You guys know that I primarily work with resin, but I'm not afraid of other mediums and expanding them and trying to figure out different unique ways to combine them. But this working with acrylics has helped me out trying to figure out ways to adapt it with resin too. And it seems to be easier to just pull out paints really quickly, especially when you have them already mixed up, and try experiments. And this process with working with Tish over the last couple of pieces has given me an idea that I'm going to do several videos in a row that's going to show the experiment process that I've got to figure out how to make this happen with acrylics. And then once I get that done, and it's just a matter of how I'm moving the paints around, which will give the effect, and I just got to figure out how to do that. But I'll take you guys along with the journey while I figure this out, and then I'm going to hopefully turn around and use it in resin and pull off a piece, because I've got a piece in mind that'll be a big one, but I got to figure out how to make it happen. You know how you get that little thought in your head and you just got to figure it out. So I'm really liking the flow here, and just to give you guys an idea. So what I'm trying to do is get a flow and then be able to shift it and change it into another color, and then shift it and change into another color. So that's kind of the thing there. So think of it as like a wide ribbon, if you want to call it anything. But I'm not going to give away too much now, because hopefully all will be revealed soon. Got to figure this out though. All right. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. There you go. All right, so hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, definitely hit the bell to get notified next time I put a video up. Check out the links in the description below for Artist Till Death. That's where I get all my supplies for resin, and also the glitters that you can use for acrylic pouring, and also my Amazon store where I put links that for different art supplies that I use, as well as my Etsy store. Go buy some stuff.